Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Uddhared Atmanatmanam Magnam Samsara Varidho Yoga Rudhatvam Asadhya Samyak Darshana Nishtaya. Ninth sloka, ninth verse of Vivekachudamani. In Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 5th sloka is there. Uddharet Atmanatmanam na Atmanam avasadayet Atmaiva hi Atmanaha Vandhuhu Atma eva Ripuhu Atmanaha. So, our acharyas, they knew that the impact of Vedanta, how we have to lift ourselves. How is that? The thing is, this is called Samyak Darshana. What is Samyak Darshana? Yesterday we had seen that Atmabodha 39th sloka, that this is the final stage of meditation or realization when we see ourselves in everyone else, and when the whole world we think, we understand that it is me only. So how that thing is possible, how that lifting is possible? Here Atma means Antahkarana. Here Atma means Antahkarana, and Yoga means training of the mind, because Yoga means Yukta, addition. So you can add your mind with a lot of things, but that may end up in very dangerous thing. But the thing where you have to add your mind, योग का शब्द है जोड़ना. मन तो हर चीज में जुड़ जाते हैं, जिसमें हमारा पसंद है, खाने में, पीने में, जगह में, व्यक्ति में, वस्तु में. लेकिन उसमें तो प्रॉब्लम क्या है? Our only problem is our sorrowness, our sadness. हम लोगों का आत्यंतिक दुख. So if our mind becomes yoga yukta with the vyakti and vastu, sadness will never go, sorrow will never go. So how it is possible? If you add your mind with the Supreme, but how is it possible? Supreme means you only. When a king and his queen and their son and a lot of people, they were going somewhere else. And in the way, there was a lot of flood and war. So they lost their son. They started escaping from the place, but they lost their son over there. One very kind person, he saw that one small baby is just in the side of the road. That person picked him up. Now he started nourishing that boy, you know. After some years, that person or that small boy started growing up, and all the Raja Lakshana was visible on his body. But that person was very poor and he used to beg sometimes. So, and he was illiterate and he taught his son begging only. But that fellow knew that he is the son of the king. So when after many years, when that young boy came to know that he is the son of the king of this state, will he beg? Our Vedanta sadhana is like that. All our sorrows, everyone has different types of problems. Who are poor, their problem is also poor. Who are king, their problem is also kingly problem. So nobody is away from the problem, and we don't know how to handle it, so that's why we are sad. We become happy also. It's not that dukkham sarvam dukkham, we are always crying. It's not that. We taste the samsara, we enjoy the samsara, we become happy sometimes, but not always. Vedanta promises us the constant happiness, and how it is possible when you come to know that you are the ocean of happiness. Then you will not beg happiness from person, from place, from things. Understood? So, Uddharet Atmana means our mind or Antakarana is divided in two parts. One part of the Antakarana is telling, go and attend Vedanta class. One mind is saying that no, today is raining, I will not go. That decisive factor, I'm not telling about today's fact, because today is a rainy day. Not only Vedanta class, any good decision. See, just think in our life, so many good decisions, spiritual decision we could not take because of the lack of support of our mind. One portion of the mind always gives the other excuses. One boy sometimes come to meet me. He always fails the time, always, So once I told him that take a resolve. What happens? When one day he was supposed to come at 7 o'clock, he came 7:30. He told, when I started coming, my car got problem. I started today at 6 o'clock. Then my friend made, a lot of friends, they took my keys, told, no, you have to have tea with us. Whenever you will take any resolve, as the whole world is the creation of your mind, means external world also. You know what happens? You can test it. All the non-conducive things appears physically. You will notice it. You know, in the physical form, all such badhas come, for any good work. That is why what will be udharit, hari dhatu. From hri dhatu, hari also come, haran also come. Haran means you have to do something else, means karma. What karma? Trying. Got my point? So udharit means here, wherever haranam, there is a challenge. Just think, if you have heard or if you studied Bhagavatam, when Bhagavan Sri Krishna is doing haranam of Rukmini ji, how challenging it was for Bhagavan. Here also, udharanam is uddharam. Uddharet atmana. So when you are rescuing your good portion of your atma through another portion of the mind, here atma means mind and antakarana, then it's a challenge. But why won't we take the challenge? For getting a little bit of sukham, how much we do? Since our childhood, you just think, for getting a little bit of sukham, we do a lot of things. We adopt a lot of lifestyle, new lifestyle, to get pleasure. Who goes and settle up in abroad, how challenging it is. I have talked so many people who are in abroad. But see, here in India, a lot of things are missing. Mainly the job consequences. So they think that they will settle up outside. But it's not that everything is heaven. Sometimes they're ashamed to tell others that what the problem they are facing, because they have left this country to get more pleasure. So for a little bit of sukham, we struggle hard. So here, for my eternal peace, why won't we take that sort of challenge in our life to go for the good? Clear? Sometimes you have to scold your mind. Sometimes you have to be a mother of your mind, friend of your mind, when you have to console him. Because always slapping and beating is not the solution. Nowadays, it's not possible. Even in Western country, you can't scold your own son. That's why in abroad I have seen The parents, basically the mother, they can't beat their children and they become frustrated. They just sit on the roadside, that do whatever you want to do. Because their शासन करना भी सरकार से माना है. Okay. Sanyasya sarva karmani bhavavandha vimuktaye. One part of Veda is there. Yes. Yatyatam panditai dhiraihi atmabhyasa upasthitaihi sanyasya sarva karmani bhavabandha vimuktaye yatyatam panditair dhiraihi atmabhyasa upasthitaihi. Atma means Atma abhyase upasthitaihi. Means here tatparata, your striving, that how you are serious about Vedanta Sravanam. Means here Atma Vyas means Brahma Jnana ki sadhana. And Brahma Jnana ki मुख्य साधना है श्रवणम. और बाकी गौण साधना है मननम and निदिध्यासनम. Sravanam, Sravanam, Sravanam. So, Atmabhyase upasthitaihi dhiraihi. Dhira means not only steady. Dhira means who is udvega sunya, who has no conflict in mind, doubt in mind, is calm and quiet, where there is no iota of udvega, anxiety. Okay? Panditaihi, who is having the panda, that knowledge, vichakshana knowledge, analytical mind, analytical knowledge. See, who are non-believers, how strong logics they are having, you have no idea. This sort of analysis is not will not work over here. So here Panditaihi means the logic or analysis will push you for Vedanta Sravanam. Sarva karmani sanyasta or sanyasya. If you take this literally, sare karma ka tyag kar. But a human being can't stay or live without doing any karma. So I will explain it. Then bhavabandha vimuktaye, संसार बंधन से मुक्ति लाभ के लिए यत्यताम, यत्न परायण होगा. Here is a piece of advice given to a man who has all the necessary theoretical knowledge of the science of self-perfection. A person who knows, suppose he is the expert in everything else. It's not that he is told to renunciate everything, all activities. Actually, here it is suggested to deduct attraction for outside thing, over attraction, over excitement for the job, over excitement for anything else. Here, Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji or Vedanta never teaches us that whenever you will be a Vedanti, you have to start eating grasses. Vedanta is a very practical science. Vedanta knows that your workaholic nature is the problem because you are too much intended. Even for the Swamis also, I have seen one Swami, he was in a hostel. I was there. And in a hostel, there is at least 15, 16, 17 hours work. More than that sometimes. He gave their service for 20 years. Then he was transferred to Seva Pratishthan hospital. There also work is there, but their work pattern is different. And Swamis get little bit rest or little regular time, though it's not correct because I know there are at least 15, 16 Swamis, they eat their lunch 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the evening because they don't have time. I know that because I was there. But I'm talking about this another Swami, he was old, almost 60, 68 years old. You know, when he was posted in Seva Pratishthan, within 2 months, he became a mental patient. Then he was shifted to a mental asylum, rehabs and everything else. After 6 months, headquarters took the decision to post him again in his old center. And he was okay. I was there on that time. That's why I know that. So this is the attachment for the work category, for the post or everything else. That is also samsara. Maybe because here Bhagavan has not mentioned samsari or sannyasi. Whoever is attached with anything else, if a sannyasi is attached with his small langota, he is a samsari. Clear? So samsari means, samsari and sannyasi is the game of attachment and detachment. A person may be in the palace and enjoys everyday Raj Bhoga, but he has no attachment with that. Any day, if he is offered panta, the soaked rice, it's not a problem for him. If it is like the mental state, then he is a real sannyasi staying in the palace. If living in an ashram, living in an hut, living with torn clothes and always thinking that when the devotees will bring something else and I will eat, and dreaming for food or any other bhogya vastu, in this dress is verily samsari. Clear? Renunciation, actually Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji tried to tell that renunciation of false values, what we unnecessarily put in some things where it is not required. famous Vedantic example that when we misunderstand a rope as a snake, we start shouting, screaming, then we arrange a lot of things, sword, then stick, then torchlight, like that, to kill that snake. Means we paid too much attention to our imagination rather than the reality. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji is trying to take our attention, extra attention, what we put forth, too much effort to give attention to a bahya vastu, and that the false values what we put. Why? To adopt the art of perfection in the spiritual life. And that is the impact of this sloka, Sanyasya Sarva Karmani Bhavabandha Vimuktaye Yatyatam Panditaihi Dhiraihi Atmabhyasa Upasthitaihi. It is only possible if you do practice in Bhagavad Gita. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena samahitaha. In 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in 36 slokas, maybe it is there, maybe 35 or 36, where that practice every day without any failure, whatever the situation comes. So in the morning, everyone, I don't know, maximum, not everyone, that thinks, why should I get up early? I can sleep little more, 5 minutes. So we do snooze in the mobile phone, or when it was our round clock, we used to just put down that alarming rod. So here Bhagavan is telling Sanyasya Sarva Karmani, means when we put forth a lot of effort in adopting other things which actually gives us, sorrow, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji is trying, they isko छोड़ो और ब्रह्माभ्यास में यत्न करो. जो पंडित लोग हैं वो ऐसे ही करते हैं, और करके संसार में रहकर भी संसार से मुक्त हो जाता है. That is the impact of this 10th verse. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.